Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Death Note. Last time on Death Note, we had... what was it called? We had episode 16. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was called. This is gonna drive me crazy. But last time, I'll go ahead and recap while I'm sitting here. Last time, Misa was arrested. I guess we already got that, technically. And then, they arrested Light too. Decision! That's what it was called. It was called Decision. Yeah, Light was put into custody on suspicion of being Kira. And, Misa had her memory of all the Death Note stuff wiped. So, she just thought she was being captured by a stalker. And then, after a little while in captivity, Light gave up the Death Note and all his memories of it in order to feign ignorance, basically, I guess. A lot of things happen, and it is confusing L to no end. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Death Note, unfortunately is not in this video due to copyright issues. So, if you want to check out my reaction, you can head down in the description or to the pinned comment on this video. It should say DN17 reaction highlight and give a link. You click on that link, you'll find my reaction with, the footage in the corner. It's all nice and edited and good. And you can watch that, hopefully have a good time, and when you're done with that, you can pop back over here for the discussion on this episode, which is always important. And even if you don't want to watch the discussion, then just mute the YouTube video and go do something else. Just let the video keep playing, because it's always good to watch a video to completion. I made it sound weird. Whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So if you want to go do that, you can head over there right now, because let's get into this episode of Death Note. Here we go. We really did just start a new story arc. That was the end of one story arc and the beginning of another. And Light doesn't have his memories back. He doesn't have his Death Note back. He might be out of it for a while. He actually might be out of it for a little while, for a few episodes. But that's the thing, is that, how could he write names in the Death Note? How could he write names in the Death Note with L next to him at all times? Man, that was insane. But that definitely felt like we just ended a story arc. It kind of feels like we just ended the Misa Amane story arc. And now we are starting a new one. The Yotsuba story arc, whatever that is. I have to assume they're going to be the next centerpiece. Because that's the thing, is that we've... technically, I guess we've had two so far. We've had the beginning of Kira's story arc, and then the Misa Amane second Kira story arc, which has just concluded, and now we are moving on to something else, where businessmen have become Kira. But it's all part of... I have to assume this is all part of Light's plan. Light's plan that we don't know yet. All we know is that Rem is working on something. Wonder what Ryuk's up to. You know? Because I have to assume that the guy that was writing down those names, the hired Kira, which is the first thing I wrote down, the hired Kira, which is how, the killings are still going on, even, while Light spends 50 days in jail. I assume now he is part of Yotsuba, if I'm saying that right. And I have to assume that he's using Rem's Death Note. And it's all to save Misa. That's the entire reason that Rem is doing this. Ryuk wouldn't do this, but Rem will for Misa. Man, that was a crazy episode. That was a finale. Honestly, that was a finale to that story arc, which we really didn't have that, I don't feel like, for the last story arc. I mean, let me go look at the episodes that we've had. Oh boy. Death Note. So where was the first one? It was Assault. Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of had the beginnings of Kira story arc through the first 10 episodes. I don't remember episode 10 sort of feeling like a finale. Although you could call episode 11 Assault the finale. But that was more of the bombastic beginning of the second Kira story arc. But yeah, from Assault to now where we are now with this episode, like, that was an entire story arc, which I'm glad they do that, because we keep saying, like, oh well, with all the crazy things that happen in this show, it's like, oh, there's only so many episodes, but they pack a lot into these episodes. We have 20 more episodes left of the show. Now, granted, we've only watched 17, so we haven't even, made it to the halfway point yet. We haven't even made it to the halfway point yet. We're definitely getting close, but still, it's like there's still 20 episodes left. So I like now that, we are definitely, like, going through different story arcs within such, honestly, a short show, only being 37 episodes. But man, oh man, this is crazy, man. It's crazy, but I love it. So yeah, we're definitely going to be starting we definitely just started a new story arc. And again, I like that. I will be curious to see how long Light goes without his memories of being Kira. Because that's the thing. He does not remember being Kira. He lost his memory when he relinquished the Death Note. So, it's just insane. But the fact that Light had everything so perfectly planned out that even though he's now out of prison, his plan can keep going still in his absence, basically. That is amazing, man. So, like I said, the first thing I wrote down was the hired Kira. So, they actually made a business deal to have someone be Kira in Light's absence. So Rem went and made a business deal with Kira. Like, that is incredible, That is insane. And, so basically, they show all the people that, the criminals that need to die. This guy goes in and he writes it down. And it's all, like, he's basically just an employee of this business, Yotsuba. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we're just going to kind of assume. But yeah. So that's interesting. So they basically hired... Rem made a business deal to hire someone as Kira, which is insane. The next thing I wrote down was 50 days. It was 50 days of confinement in total. That is insane. And that whole time, Misa is chained up to the chair, and Light... Poor... I feel bad for Light, too. Misa, I guess, has it the worst off, technically, because she is just completely chained up and can't move and stuff. But Light, his ankles are tied together, his wrists are tied together behind him, and he's just stuck like that for 50 days. My goodness. The chief kind of does it to himself, though, when it's like, he's just sitting in that chair for 50 days. But, man, oh man. That is crazy. And then, oh my god, execution. The plan was an execution. Which, that's the thing, it's like, it's like, clearly, the entire plan was given to Chief Yagami. So, it makes sense, like, after everything we've heard while he was in confinement, I'm walking out of here with my son and stuff like that. It's like, so, the fact that he would decide to deliver them to their executions, like, huh? What? Are you sure? What? And it's like, none of the evidence that we presented to him stacks up with Light being Kira. So, oh man, it's just ridiculous, man. So yeah, taking them to their execution, sanctioned, well, supposedly, sanctioned by the UN and the Japanese government. Holy Toledo! Like, I know that obviously this isn't true. This is all just a setup. It's all just a setup to really prove their innocence. But man, oh man. It is just crazy, man. And yeah, just that car ride is just suspenseful, and then just, it's like they go and they kind of go under the bridge, and it's like, okay, Misa's trying to look on the bright side, like, maybe he'll let us go, and it's like, alright, I'm going to kill you and then kill myself. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. It's just, oh. Because, I mean, he would know that, even though, yes, this is all still an act, as we learn, but it's like, the chief, it does still kind of make sense. He's still acting, perfectly for that. Basically saying, like, you're going to be killed either way. So I'm going to do it instead of, you being executed like that. Because he can't let either of them go if they are Kira, because then they'll just start killing again. So, oh my gosh, and just, because he puts the gun up to Light, and it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? And it's like he pulls the trigger, and that's when we get the break, and it's such a crazy moment. Oh, it's such a crazy moment, and then when it's like, okay, he had to have fired a blank. There's no way Light dies in episode 17. So it's, it's ridiculous. And all of this just to prove Light's innocence, which even still, L is still suspicious, L is still suspicious, and that's why, he's keeping Light chained to him, basically. The two of them are going to be together 24/7, which is just crazy. Oh, God. And then just, because that's the thing, is like, I didn't know what the hell was happening, I didn't know what the hell was happening until it's like, oh, it was a blank. And then he says, like, was that good? And, the logic there, and this is the problem for for the investigation is that they don't know about the Death Note. Light and Misa cannot kill without their Death Notes. They need the Death Note to write in and kill someone. So it's just, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. El and Light are going to be chained together until Kira is caught. That is funny. Now, hey, this does lead to the possibility that they will find the hired Kira and arrest him, and then Light can get off the hook and maybe... But the thing is, if Light gets the Death Note back, remembers being Kira, how can he resume being Kira? Because they're gonna know immediately. They're gonna be like, okay, we just let you off the hook, and Kira's killings resume. We're gonna have to go after you. So he's gonna have to figure something else out too. Pretty much, he needs to kill the investigation team. There's just no two ways around that. He just needs to, he needs to off them. But that's been his whole thing. That's been the thing the entire time. So, I don't know. And Misa will be under surveillance, which, hey, if you look on the bright side, she might not be taken by stalkers again. Oh my gosh, that may be the saddest thing in this whole array of episodes, is that Misa is just kind of used to being kidnapped by stalkers. Like, that's not good, girl. You need help. Oh. So yeah, so she will be under surveillance, and Matsuda is going to be her new manager, and he's basically in love too, calling her Misa. And this is so weird. For as dramatic as this episode was due to the executions and stuff, this took a real goofy turn after that. Like, it was very odd, actually, but it was good. I liked it, but it was just so goofy, with Misa's movements and stuff like that. She was getting goofy and stuff. And saying like, well, what if we want to go on a date? Are you just going to be there with us? It's like, yes, I suppose it will have to be a date of 3. It's like, are you saying that we have to kiss while you're watching us? Like, I didn't say you had to do anything, but yes, if you do that, I will be watching. It's just hilarious. And then, Matsuda fanboying over Misa is hilarious. And then Aizawa shutting it down. He's like, stop this! He's like, alright, Misa, you need to go to your room. And he just kicks her out, and it's like in such a cartoon way of kicking her out. It's just, this guy's so goofy. Like, and I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. We kind of need it, Like, give us a breather after the most intense scene of the entire show, with the execution. Oh. So I get it, but it was just so goofy, but I love it. And, honestly, I don't know. So, technically, the thing is, like, okay, they have been, taken out of confinement, which is great and all, but they are still suspects. El has kind of put it together. It's like, okay, you went to this one place, and then love at first sight for this guy. You didn't know his name, and then you found out his name later, and it's like, basically, it's like, it doesn't add up, basically. And, oh, God. It's like, it doesn't add up, and the fact that he chained himself to Light means that he is still suspicious of them. He suspects both of them still. Oi. And then, hoi. So that's all interesting. They are still suspects, but they are a bit better. So, they are a bit better. He's just basically taking precautions just in case. It makes sense, it's something. And if if Light is going to go do anything, it's going to be with L next to him. Which is insane. We're going to have to see how that goes. I wrote down the new base. They're just going to get a new base of operations, basically. They're just going to get... They just got... You know, they just built a skyscraper, basically. And they're just going to use that. It's like... okay, I guess this is just a thing now. We have a base. Yay. We have a base for 5 people. L, Light, the Chief, Aizawa, and Matsuda, and Watari. That's 6. And if Misa comes by, which she might. And I love to, when it's like, you know, you need to get intimate with her, you know, to see, you know, to reveal things. That sounds wrong. But to, you know, see if she is the second Kira and stuff like that. And Light just being like, I will not manipulate a woman like that. It is, it goes against my principles. And it's like, this is so ironic. Because, I mean, legitimately he is saying that because he doesn't have his memories of being Kira. You know, he doesn't know he's Kira anymore. Pretty much, the character we've been following throughout this whole show, he's kind of gone right now. Like, yeah, we have Light, but we've been following Kira. You know? And I do kind of like that. I like that we now have a separation between them. I kind of like that, you know? I like that a little bit when, you know, a character... Basically, a character with 2 identities, it's split apart almost quite literally, you know? They did that in... And I remember the only example I can ever think of is there was an episode of Danny Phantom that did that. I know, probably an obscure reference for this, but yeah. There was an episode where, like, they separated Danny from his ghost half. And so his ghost half was going around and being a hero and wearing a cape and stuff like that. And Danny was just a normal teenage boy. You know, Danny Fenton was a normal teenage boy. And it's like, we've kind of done that too, except we're not getting any of Kira. It's just Light, but we now have a clear separation between Light Yagami, who we're following right now, and Kira, who we've been following for the whole show. So, that is pretty cool. I do like that, so yeah. And all that with the new base, it'll be interesting to see. And see, the new base, the fact that, you know, because even before the Misa Amane arc started, you know, we've been going through, like, multiple hotels and stuff like that. So, now we're going to get a new base. This just, it like, reinforces that this feels like a new story arc, basically, that's starting. And with that, we have the Yotsuba Corporation, which is sort of in the business of Kira now. Like, they have been contracted by Rem to be Kira. That is insane. And they are using it to their advantage. Now, the thing is, you know, they're kind of, I don't know, like, they're being so corporate about this, but I would love to see an interaction between all of them and Kira, our Kira, Light as Kira. Like, I want to see just those, I just want to see an interaction between that. So, I guess that is our question going into the next episode, and technically the next story arc. What are the plans of the Yotsuba Corporation, and how are we going to get our Kira back? You know, oh my god, should we go with like hashtag not my Kira? Oh my god, no, let's not do that. But yeah, what is the Yotsuba Corporation going to do as Kira, and how will we get our Kira back? Those are our 2 questions going into the next episode. So, yes, brilliant episode, loved it, very intense, and then got very goofy, but I still love it. And next time we will, I guess we're going to start a new story arc. Alright, so with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Death Note reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media. Links below in the description. See you guys later.